Let's look at number 1. Okay, let's read it. So Hannah sold 48 flowers in 3 hours at the farmer's market. If she continues to sell at that same rate, how many flowers will she sell in the next 2 hours? Okay, so we know that she sells 48 flowers in 3 hours. So if she continues to sell at that rate, this is hours, this is flowers, okay? How many? So we'll write X because we don't know. How many flowers will she sell in the next 2 hours? So we set up our equation, and now to find it, we're going to cross multiply. So we're going to multiply 3 and X and 48 and 2. So 3 times X equals 48 times 2, 3. Divided by 3, divided by 3. This cancels out, so we know that X equals whatever 48 times 2 divided by 3 is. So we can simplify this out. So now let's quickly do a little multiplication. 48 times 2. And try and do it on paper, because I know you can use your calculator, but it's better if you use, use your mind on it. 96 divided by 3. And 96 divided by 3 is 32. So the answer would be D. It would take 32 flowers for her to sell in the next 2 hours. Okay. Joseph went to visit his grandmother with his parents. They drove 240 miles in 4 hours. What was the average speed when they were traveling? So average speed is basically miles divided by hours. So we're just dividing 240 by 4. So 24 divided by 4 is 6, and you can add that 0 in. So the answer would be C, which is 60 miles per hour. So that one was pretty simple, because average speed is just dividing miles per hour. And then let's look at number 3. Olivia had 24 guests at her birthday party last year, so 24, which bought 18 liters of juice for her guests. This year, she's expecting 40 guests. So how many liters of juice does she need to buy for a birthday party this year? So we know last year she had 24 guests and she bought 18 liters of juice. But how many liters of juice does she need this year if she's expecting 40 guests? So same thing, we're going to cross multiply like this. And it's going to be 24 times X equals 18 times 40. Okay, so that equals X. That's a multiplication sign, not minus sign. Okay, and then we have 24. Quickly, we can do some multiplication in an easy way. We can just do 18 times 4. So we get 72, and we can add in that 0 from the 40. Like that. So that's 720 divided by 24. And 24 times 3 is just 72. So we can add in this 0, because that would mean 24 times 30 is 720. So the answer would be 30 liters. She would need to buy 30 liters of juice for 40 guests if she's expecting 40. Okay. And then we have number 4. There are 72 apples in the orchard arranged in 9 equal rows. How many apple trees are in each row? So whenever you see like something in each row, or like a total of something in rows, that probably means you're dividing. So we know that there's 72 apple trees, but how many are there in each row? So there's 9 rows. How many are there in each one? That's what they're trying to say. So for that, you need to divide. So just 72 divided by 9 should be 8. So the answer should be 8. 8 apple trees are in each row because 8 times 9 is 72, which is pretty simple because it's division. Number 5, Mr. Baker creates 35 math test problems in 5 hours for the upcoming math pop quiz. How many questions does Mr. Baker create in 3 hours? Okay, so he creates 35 math problems in 5 hours. How many does he create in 3 hours? So same thing. We're gonna cross multiply 5 times, so 5 times x and 35 times 3. And if you guys feel comfortable with it, you can easily just get rid of the 5 here instead of dividing in the next part. So we know 35 is also divisible by 5. So that becomes 7. So 7 times 3. So that would be 21. So the answer would be A. Mr. Baker creates 21 math problems in 3 hours. Okay, let's look at number 6. Nicholas decided to go on a diet. He lost 3 pounds every week. So 1 week. If he keeps losing at the same rate, how many weeks does he need to lose 18 pounds? So we want to know if he wants to lose 18 pounds, how many weeks will that take? So we're going to cross multiply 3 times x equals 18 times 1, which is basically 18. And that's basically 18 divided by 3, which is 6. So the answer would be 6. Which is D. Yep, and there you go. Okay, now this is just a simpler way. If you don't, like for these type of problems where you don't, like for example, for number 3, if you don't automatically know, like if a certain number is exactly divisible, you can start out by 2. So 24 is divided by 2, is divisible by 2, that's 12. 18 is divisible by 2, that's 9. Oh, it can still be divided. This is divisible by 3. This is divisible by 3. And you'd still get the same answer in the end. This just simplifies your process a little more, so you don't have to calculate as much as we did right here. Because if you don't simplify in this process, you're just going to have to multiply the top numbers, which usually are pretty big as you get older. So you can use this trick to simplify if you want.